Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 79 of the SWW Show. It's me, AJ. I'm here with Mike. We've been having all kinds of fun audio difficulties before we record this, so hopefully.
To be fair, I was about to say hopefully, but to be fair, we've had all things considered, you had to move to a web browser. I feel like there are harder fixes in audio world sometimes.
Well, but even then, it wasn't working.
That's fair. That's fair. I was gonna say because you don't know this yet, but we're gonna be live streaming our wedding for people around the world. Not on this channel. I mean, functionally, family. And I'm like, if that's the smallest problem is I have to switch last minute to where I'm recording, it'll be the easiest fix on my wedding day ever.
Wait, does that mean I have to bring all my shit so I can help with?
No, I'm literally just gonna plug. I'm gonna before at some point I wanted to buy a nice camera anyway, and I'm just plugging into a laptop and just basically live streaming onto an unlisted YouTube link is really what I'm doing.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, and it works because there's enough family on the world is kind of the function of why.
Yeah.
That won't be attending. So, but no, that's a future problem. But yes, we're here back. It is June. We apologize. It's mid-June. I think this happens once, twice a year. Summer, weddings, shit happens. But we back. We here, and we're here to talk about. So I want to clarify. The amount of stuff on this list is a lot of little things, but a lot of things that kind of stack. So it's been a month. It is the month of not E3. It is the peak of summer, and apparently every game studio that's remaining is laying people off. So it's very much one of those months. So just a warning for everyone. But to get us started, I guess, real question for you, AJ. Is it actually winter in Michigan, or are you still in this fake spring shit still thrown in there?
Bro, it's 85 today.
Okay. We've been having these days where it's 60 out of fucking nowhere, and I'm like, when does summer actually come?
We had one of those recently, but it's because it was raining all day.
Okay. No, that is fair. But to get started, it's funny because two of us both have games I feel like just RPGs that would just be on this list for a while. But you've been going through playthrough number 4 of Cyberpunk?
Well, yeah, I guess it depends on how you want to define it. This is going to be my second... Okay. Technically, it's my first full playthrough in the sense of start to finish all the content. Since Cyberpunk added the DLC. I played through Phantom Liberty with I started it with my endgame character that I beat the base game with. And then was like, I kind of want to do this with a different character. So then I did a different character, played through Phantom Liberty with a different character, and then somewhere in between finishing the main game and Phantom Liberty coming out, I started another playthrough with one of the other archetypes, one of the other backstories, just to explore it.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't get too far into it, so it was pretty easy to drop. But yeah, this is going to be my first start to finish. Well, start to however long I get through, or however long it takes, I guess, to get through playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 with Phantom Liberty. So, yeah. I'll probably stop playing it around Death Stranding 2 and get back to it.
I was like, do you have any specific goals or no? It's just you want to mess around, kind of see it all the way through?
No, I'm effectively playing my first playthrough character again, a female corpo. And so I'm just gonna basically play that all the way through, which I hadn't done in the past.
Okay.
Yeah.
No,
And I'm doing
that
way more
sounds...
side stuff now than I did before.
I'm assuming this is PC?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be pretty shocked if you were not playing it on PC. Do you own Cyberpunk now on PC, or are you just on PC for it?
It's the only platform I have it on.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Because I wanted, like, I'm like, I want this game to look the best it can.
That's right. And like the game, like it's funny because like if I remember correctly in launch, PC was not the problem of the game. It was everyone else.
No, like, actually, like, version 1.0, I didn't have any of the issues that people were talking about. Of, like, oh, traffic is, like, stuck in the Jersey barriers, or, like, you know, all these weird performance issues. I was, like, halfway through the campaign when they pushed their first update, and then everything broke. So
There's something amazing about that, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I was like, motherfuckers, like, I had the one working copy apparently of Cyberpunk, and then you fucknuts made sure it broke for me. So
Nice.
yeah.
I was gonna say I'm continuing down my chain of Oblivion. The one thing I wanted to note is I am definitely running into the general complaints of like as you get further in that campaign, it's doing the Baldur's Gate thing of like the first 10 hours are perfectly pristine and it slowly quickly starts like I'm playing Seems Like Asterix, but like it's totally like crashing more and being way more inconsistent on performance, which is interesting for a game this old. But it's still Oblivion, still a great game. But definitely a note of people continuing down the track like I am, that it's definitely getting worse performance-wise, and they're actively releasing updates for it. So
That's never fun. I mean, like,
it's annoying because, like, in the beginning, especially, when you're like, "Oh, it's fine," and then it starts getting worse and worse.
yeah, it's just like, guys, come on. This game's what? 25 years old?
No, it's 08, I think.
Okay, yeah, I'll get. Sorry, I was thinking of the other ones.
Yeah, Oblivion's 06. I apologize.
So 20 years, like, you know, this game's 20 now. Granted,
To give you an idea how old Oblivion is, the counts, they had different publishers penning the version, and 2K was the console publisher and Ubisoft was the European publisher.
yeah, that was back when.
Like that's wild that Bethesda was so small they couldn't publish it internationally.
Well, but remember, that was also the era of publishers kind of specified where they were good, right? Like, Ubisoft was definitely strong in Europe because they're a French company, so they had that inroad. Sony was way better publishing in Japan than it was in the States.
Objectively.
And it wasn't until, you know, a few years later when that really changed or started to change. So
yeah, again, I think it's still Oblivion's still a great game, but definitely functionally goes through it. The thing I wanted to talk about also, I played it last time on the stream when it was just me, was I started playing TMNT Tactical Takedown, which is the Turtles game by Strange Scaffold that came out here this month, or I think last month. It's an interesting game of it's totally one of those like you drop down with a turtle and it's not XCOM, but like it's totally like there is one of you versus like a string of enemies going down like a whole mission path in a turn-based tactical game. It's interesting. I'm gonna say it's interesting, but like to me though, what's so you're playing as like one turtle the whole time, right? So it's not like a game where like you're playing all four and jump between it. So like naturally to me, those levels feel like they should be tighter or smaller, but I don't know how I feel that like, so like when you sit down and play it, it's like a 15-20 minute like level, which like doesn't sound bad until you like lose and have to restart it. Like it seems like like the levels for like, to me, where like I felt like this game was gonna be like the tight, almost like into the breach levels, they're shockingly detailed and shockingly long, which for like an arcadey game I almost think's a negative. But I wanted to shout out saying it's really fun mechanically, and there is a decent amount of like things you can do or upgrades you down type path that I feel like you could tell that like the team at Strange Scaffold actually cares about turtles or like making it feel right versus at least like a cheap tie-in game. And obviously it's a team that I think we've seen grow substantially over the last couple of years, and I think this is their first license thing. So obviously always excited to see what that crew does. But I want to shout it out.
It's not their first license thing.
What do they do with ours?
Strange Scaffold. I thought they had done something before. Or maybe I'm just thinking of El Paso Elsewhere has been licensed for...
I think you might be thinking because El Paso's been licensed for a film now, right? I think.
At least a film, yeah.
On their itch, which probably shows everything ever, I don't see anything else licensed, at least.
Our Games.
Stranger Things. Never. Wait. Oh no, Xavier Nelson worked on Stranger Things VR, but it wasn't part of.
Well, funnily enough, is it under special projects?
And I was like, we've played Space Warlord, Oregon Trading Simulator.
Yeah, we played that in Chicago.
Yes, we did.
Funnily enough, on their website, it doesn't show TMNT.
That is it. My guess is their website just not updated. It's probably what it functionally is, but
yeah.
But no, at least I have not seen anything else that they've done that's licensed. So, but I'm just saying, this is the size team where like this seems like a good like give them dumb licensing, right? Give them GI Joe, give them the things that like we're not being used, but like they care about. Of like, I was gonna say asterisk at the end of this. If this was the worst Turtles game we ever got, it would still be pretty good. So,
why is it that Turtles always seems to be one of, I don't know what it is. Like, why is that property like a magnet to shit games?
Because personally, I feel like, sure, maybe I like Charles more, don't get me wrong, but like there's some level of like Turtles at its best in video game form. I feel like is you were just making dumb arcade games. So like we go to like those like the beat 'em up games of like earlier of like 15 years ago. Those were really good games, right? Or the NES or SNES games, right? Yeah. But like I feel like the problem is that Turtles gets glumped in this weird like studios go, I don't know, make them fight, and they like lose the things that make them Turtles. Like example being, it's shocking to me that we had that Turtles film like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, and no one's made a video game about that, like that level of like, oh, they understood what Turtles were. Like it's still dumb teenagers fucking around, like go make like dumb action game. Where like a lot of Turtlesy stuff is just like either make really cheap action game or like I don't give them like the time to do it or give it to people who don't care about the license. It's kind of like I think Turtles have the Transformers problem of like we have examples of really good Transformers games, and then go back a couple years and we have examples of atrocious Transformers games because it all depends like also who you give the IP to at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like tell me Turtles is not an IP where like some studio goes, give me $500,000, the license loan will carry it, and then you go, what the fuck's this game? Like that's totally the problem they have.
Well, so my question becomes, is there a problem that they just throw the license at whoever wants it?
I would assume I would assume it's that, or they don't give enough funding when they throw it around. I would say it's one of the two for sure.
Right, because I mean,
Because Turtles now is Viacom, which means they just want money.
yeah. It's just one of those where you're like, we've seen licensed stuff work. Arkham,
Mhm.
famously.
Famously, it's probably the
famous. Like, these licenses can work, and TMNT, like, it's weird to say, but make something based off the gritty Michael Bay stuff, right? Like,
yeah, no, like and like Turtles. That's a good example of like I tend to probably aim towards the cartoony, but like the Michael Bay Turtles, or even the Turtles like we grew up with, like would have been like our age roughly, kind of like the early 2000s, the late 90s Turtles, like you could still do it more gritty-ish, or like we have I think there's that AAA game in development which is supposed to be like the like very gritty Turtles, but like it's interesting that like especially arcadey, I feel like we only get the like make them funny or sound funny, like that type of turtle. We don't get the like serious turtle.
yeah.
So it is interesting though
you can be
because
serious and funny, and that's
you can, but I feel like we don't get that, at least in this IP, and what we've seen from at least from a like licensing point of view.
yeah.
Like the generation we would have grown up on, I would argue, is that well, like it's objectively more serious than like other ones, but it definitely tries to do the dumb kid humor, and like even that, at least you get the like, oh, it's a serious moment, but like someone's cracking a joke is different than just saying it's all a joke. It reminds me of like the rule of it's like wrestling is where I always think of it, right? Is like I like wrestling of even if it's dumb, in which the wrestlers like are serious, right? So we all know it's dumb from the outside, but like to them in the world, it's like the serious thing.
Well, it's it's the great example of Bryan Cranston said it, where he's like, the reason Hal works in Malcolm in the Middle is he doesn't know that he's in a comedy.
Yes. To him, this is real life, and to the audience, you see him view it as real life.
Right. So it's like, okay, when you hear it described as that, you're like, absolutely, it all makes sense. And then you're like, why can't we continue this on, right? Like,
it's the opposite of Deadpool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great way to put it.
Because like Deadpool inherently is someone who goes like, this is a joke and I'll tell you it's a joke. Where like I feel like a lot of things, even if it is a joke, the best fiction that are jokes, like Monty Python, unless they're winking at the camera, doesn't say it's a joke. They just expect you to understand this is a joke, and they're pretending this is serious. They didn't say shit out of their mouth.
Yeah. So
we shall see. I would say at least go check it out. I think that might be a demo, but TMNT Tactical Takedown. When it comes to what we've seen, you might appreciate the first on my list. So ironically, this is actually the first time I have seen this film of Lawrence of Arabia.
I don't blame you. That movie is fucking 4 hours long.
That movie is so long.
It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. That movie is incredible.
But it is
so long.
Also, never seeing it. It is not the film I expected it to be, actually.
No. Yeah, when you hear like, oh, this like hallmark of cinema, it's so influential, and you're like, you mean this thing that's 4 hours long and is slower than shit to start?
Slower to shit, and you're like I like in my head I go, okay, like we're in Arabia, like where does it? And like at the beginning you're just like, is this a fucking war film? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, well, yeah, because right, it's set. T.E. Lawrence. That's World War I. So.
But like it's more of a war film than I feel like people talk about it like.
Oh yeah, nobody talks about it as a war film. They're like, oh,
yeah, no
beautiful epic, and I'm like, I mean it is, but also
like we're straight watching a World War I film.
Yeah.
Like just sit there.
I mean it honestly, like watch Lawrence of Arabia and then go watch All Quiet on the Western Front.
Is that a good back to back?
Well, so All Quiet on the Western Front you think is going to be a war film. And then like half of it isn't. Actually, more than half of it isn't. Like, it shows very little conflict until the end. And so it kind of does that, like, it's kind of a beautiful epic, but its facade is a war film. Lawrence of Arabia is like, its facade is this incredible epic. Almost
It is a war film.
her level reverence. And then, oh yeah, it's a war movie. Yeah.
So, a film that, not like my Predator opinion of the day. I still think it's worth seeing, but like it's definitely not a film that I feel like matches the way people talk about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to shout out I've seen this month is we went to go see the Lilo and Stitch live action film.
Okay.
Which I think I texted you saying you don't need to see this. My real problem, and I think it's like Lilo and Stitch sure changes things live action thing. You don't expect a 1-to-1. It's one of those where like you watch and you go, did the people who wrote this watch the same original film you did? Because, example, so Nani's her sister in this. And like in the original Lilo and Stitch, she's this character that like had to raise her sister and then like tries to grow and like take care of Lilo and all that stuff. But like in this film, like she doesn't make any of the decisions that like she makes in the animated series. Like other people make decisions and she happens to live with them. Like someone else decides that Lilo can adopt Stitch and Nani just goes, okay, that's fine. Well, like in the animated film, Nani actively decides to let Lilo adopt Stitch for like a companion. And I find it interesting that like they went through and like removed those like very specific things in this film, especially in the context of like what this film's about, of like adopted family and all that, where like the Outcasts film I feel like doesn't hold that message in the same way, and like it's kind of disappointing. Well, I do want to shout though that Stitch is fun as ever, and it's still the same director, and Stitch is the same. Like there's things in this film that feel right, but like otherwise, like I don't fully understand the decision. Or like Zach Galifianakis is the villain in this film, and like the voice does not match in the slightest of these characters of like what I feel like it should sound like.
Well, so my question is like, is this just another? And it sounds like it. Is this just another example of Disney watering down some of their beloved movies with these live action remakes? Right, like it sounds like they kind of watered down Lilo and Stitch, or you know, like by that I mean like they're changing. It sounds like a lot of the little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, they did that with Lion King. They've done that with a lot of these live action remakes of, oh, we're going to do the 2020 Disney take on what this film was, not, hey, we're doing a live action version of Lilo and Stitch. So
But I want to show the thing though, which is nice, is for a film that's like the moments where like it's all CG, you can tell Disney has definitely over the years like mastered CG tech, especially on like fur and skin and stuff like that. So like it's interesting because like visually this film isn't bad. I think it's solely the like content-y story things of this film. So it's not like a like, we all know those films, especially recent times, are like a horrible CG. I do think Disney has gone past that point, at least with these characters and these types of remakes.
They should have hired the team behind the Planet of the Apes. Like, if you've got something where one of your characters was a furball,
you need the Planet of the Apes team.
Like, just go to them. make your life easier. Pay whatever you need to. Like,
To be fair, the Planet of the Apes team, like, I don't understand quite how they pull off some of the shit they do.
dude, like, all right, quick nerd out session. Are they just like wizards of the dark arts with that stuff? Because
But isn't that Weta? Am I crazy? Is that not Weta?
I think it was. I don't know if it still is.
Because I thought it was Weta Rip where Unity bought them.
Weta Productions, Weta Workshop, technically.
Weta Workshop.
Oh no, you need Weta Workshop is like the models. Weta Digital.
Digital?
Weta Digital.
No, Weta FX. That's I think what we're thinking of.
WetaFX.co.nz.
Yep.
Yeah, they worked on Minecraft. Filmography, Minecraft, Brave New World.
They've worked on so much shit. I don't know if I realized this.
Yeah.
If anyone's ever
really
curious,
impressive.
Google Weta FX and you go, oh, they've worked on every film.
Yeah, I mean, like, they were on, Kingdom of the Planet, for sure.
Okay, to give you an idea, in 2024 alone, they did The Mountain, Godzilla, Rebel Moon, Kingdom Planet of the Apes, Deadpool, Wolverine, Alien Romulus, Better Man, and Carry On.
Yeah.
Which, to give you an idea, also, while we were eyeballing the Planet of the Apes, they did looks like all of them. Because that makes sense, because it was, what's his face for Caesar?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, that checks out.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, they've nailed it. I mean, also, right, like, they're the studio that does all the stuff for Kong. So, they've got that as well. So it's like, they know fur, right?
Yes.
They figured it out. So, whatever they are feeding their artists down there in New Zealand, keep it going. And then anybody that's wanting to do anything with fur, just pay them. Just pay the Kiwis. Because I feel like that is something, if it's off, it is so noticeable. You know, I think a lot of people have gotten blind to CG because everything's CG now. But fur and hair is one of those things where you just know. It's like, yeah, this isn't good.
Yeah, it's one of those that, like, we instinctually know at this point. I feel like.
Yeah. So, cool.
But cool. Anything on yours for what you have seen or anything I missed?
Not really. I've been busy dealing with a family member's wedding, so.
Yeah, I know, weddings, busy things. I know. But yeah, jumping down to our news, we have two sad stories to start us out today that I wanted to at least shout out. I feel like both of them need their moment. This was earlier, obviously, but George Wendt had died in this last month. Obviously, most famously, he is Norm at Cheers. Norm! One of the great, like, that is one of the, like, I feel like the, like, shouting of Norm is one of those things that people know beyond the TV show at this point. And then the
like,
other one.
That is something, I mean, I didn't even know it was a Cheers reference. Like,
No.
yelling Norm.
And to be fair, I feel like the, like, base thesis of Cheers just being, like, the bar we all go hang out at is still one of the, like, things that, like, is a good thesis for a show, and then just a general, like, the human connection, especially, I understand why this is a show I've been connected to, when it's just, like, a spot all of your friends hang out.
Yeah.
So. And then the other sad news that I feel like we had to at least shout out was Billy Joel has officially canceled all of his concerts after an atrocious diagnosis. Obviously, Billy Joel, um, very famous musician. Obviously, most famously, he is the Piano Man. But yeah, Billy Joel is officially, I would assume at this point, retiring and just kind of spending the rest of his life. So, yeah,
We'll see.
we'll see. But hopefully, obviously, we hope the best for him. But we will see kind of after his initial diagnosis. I want to. So it's really funny. So this next final entertainment story that we want to talk about the month is one where I thought this would be a joke news, and then the actual news broke. So the original story I wrote down was about how Warner Brothers Discovery announced Max is going to become HBO Max. But since then, Warner Brothers Discovery have also announced that they are re-splitting back up into two companies.
That's the part that I'm still not 100% on, is if it's going to be two
distinct companies versus two companies that bleed into the same unit.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone is fully clear, but to give people kind of a base idea, the other day, Warner Brothers Discovery announced they will be splitting into basically two distinct companies and organization units. Basically, you could view it as their cable package is on one side and their streaming package is on the other. Yeah, I think there's a lot of unknown, though, kind of still in this split up of HBO Max, of Warner Brothers kind of contently. But I do find it interesting because, like, I feel like we've been shouting to the roof for the last year here, basically being like, at what point is Warner being split for parts? Like, I feel either this cleanly separates them to, like, find a way to get rid of the debt, or this is the opening of them starting to be split for parts the next sometime here, right? Like I don't understand at this point, like, A, how Warner got this bad, but then B, like, how you now undo this mess of what they've become.
Yeah, that's the part that I don't get, right? Like, how do you properly... Now I get their standpoint of, you know, hey, we're spinning off the cable stuff because that's a dying world, so we need to be able to focus on that and it not drag down our streaming stuff. But my question is, why are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Right? Warner Discovery has been a thing for several years. Why are you just now deciding that you need to spin off? So
no, that is. I'm curious, kind of too, about like.
Also, will this be the only network with two streaming services?
HBO Max and what else?
Discovery Plus.
You know, what I'm gonna say is Hulu and Disney Plus.
Yeah, as I was saying that, I was like, it's not in our news, but Disney has now full ownership of Hulu. So,
which is funny because I swear to God, they've announced full ownership for the last like year and some change at this point.
It was a buyout deal that they had with
and they just announced it's done now, I assume.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hulu is one of those that, like, it's still funny to me because Hulu was basically made by the cable companies to stop streaming.
Yeah.
Like, it's this great, and now it's a add-on app on Disney Plus, basically. Like, Hulu on Disney Plus as the advertisement is still the funniest shit to me. Considering the context of, like, what Hulu was.
Yeah, I guess, but the thing of it is, Hulu and Disney Plus seem to work together.
It solely works to me. It worked better to me when Disney Plus the argument was, we're family friendly and Hulu isn't. The moment Disney Plus went, we're family asterisks, I went, what's the point of Hulu?
Well, but what I mean by working together is, like, it's kind of that A-B thing, right? Like, Always Sunny is on Hulu. It's never going to be on Disney Plus.
Right.
Why does Warner have Discovery Plus when they've got Max?
I'm gonna ask you a real dumb question. Discovery Plus is still a thing.
It's profitable, apparently. According to Zaslav, it's profitable.
Yeah, why is Discovery Plus still a thing?
That's what I mean, right? That's kind of what I was getting at. Is like, are they the only one with two? And do they need to? Was going to be my follow-up. So.
Okay, so Discovery Plus is being wound down in European markets, but it does still exist in like the United States and certain markets. Yeah, I don't fully understand the point of Discovery Plus as a function at this point, besides more money.
Yeah, and maybe they're keeping it around as long as it's profitable, and as soon as that goes away,
and that's possible. But it comes this thing of like, yeah, no, you're right. Like, it's already HBO. Is a weird product because we always talk about like why they're moving shit they own and doing like I don't think like them just throwing it on it's like we always talk about like the streamers being this confusing landscape of, like where the hell is shit. Somehow you made it more confusing because you don't know where shit is on your own product.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's the thing. That like, is there's there's a show on Discovery Plus in Europe, and I'm like, okay, I would like to watch that. Where is it in the States?
In the States.
And they're like, it's on Discovery Plus. So you go look, it's not on there. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's on Max. It's not on there. So I'm like, where the fuck is this thing? So I have gone to Sailing the High Seas. So.
What do you mean by Sailing the High Seas, you say?
Yeah.
Let me see. But yeah, jumping down though to our next notes, I just want to point out we had 3 massive trailers. Actually, we had 4 technically. I just didn't write on the 4th. To give you an idea, this last month, I would argue, so we had Gen V Season 2, which obviously is the spinoff of The Boys, continuing on Amazon Prime. We have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein over on Netflix, and then we actually had Superman's trailer 1 and 2. I just only worked on trailer 1 for James Gunn's Superman coming out beginning of next month. Did any of these trailers strike anything with you, or did you make a chance to go see any trailers?
Gen V hasn't really interested me because I don't even know if I finished season 1 of The Boys.
And that's why I was objectively more of a Boys person than you were.
Yeah.
Gen V season 1's always funny because I always forget that is Patrick Schwarzenegger is like the intro guy in it.
Frankenstein, okay, whatever. Superman's the one where I'm like, this is either a good sign or like this movie could either save or kill
Warner.
Yeah, effectively. Like a company is riding on this movie.
And on paper, I will say that I think James Gunn being a director of Superman and kind of what we've seen so far, like, sure, it's more that Golden Age Superman, but like, you can tell that James Gunn, at least functionally, really likes that Golden Age Superman and like kind of knows how to show it. It's a matter, I think it's much more how to modern audiences react to that type of Superman versus what they've been getting.
Yeah, how long has Smallville been off air?
Decade or so?
Okay. Because that's kind of the vibe I was getting, was like, it felt like early Smallville, you know, kind of that he's not truly a superhero. He is
like there's that line everyone talks about in this specific first trailer where he's like, I didn't represent the country, I just went myself. And I really like this type of take of Superman, of him just being like, I'm not someone working for them, I'm not a human, like I'm just a guy. Like I do kind of, I'm very curious kind of how they actually play that.
Yeah.
So we shall see. It comes out very soon, so hopefully something good. Jumping down to game news before we get to the sad part of the game news. This was the month of all of the announcements, obviously. But to start us out, we at least had to shout out something that I would say we have been saying for a while, which is GTA 6 is officially not coming out this year and is coming out on May 26th of 2026. I can't say either of us, I'm assuming, are super shocked, but the question I would have from you is, do you think they actually hit this date?
I think you kind of have to. Like,
it's just such a weird date, though, because like in the old days, you would never release something like that right before summer. It would always be a fall game, but like that could also be reflective of like the changing industry too.
well, so that's going to be Memorial Day weekend, right? For
Yeah. Only thing is like going into it.
uh, 20. It's what's the release date on it now?
May 26, 2026.
Okay, so it's the Tuesday after Memorial Day.
I'm assuming early access into more days what they do probably.
Maybe, yeah, like that Friday.
Yeah, like Thursday or Friday, if you pay whatever extra, you get it for that weekend, I bet you.
I mean, honestly, like, if it's $100 to get access to GTA 6 that Friday, I think I'm taking it.
Wow.
Right? Because, well, especially because you know it's a holiday weekend, so it's like, you know, it's like, okay, you could you know, you could easily take, if you wanted to take the rest of that week, because it's only 4 days, like, you could do something like that. So, but yeah.
Jumping then.
Like I say, if they don't hit this date anymore, I don't know. Yeah. And by all accounts, like the game was ready to come out in November, or at least that
and
was
like
their...
it just seems like they wanted to basically make it more bug free. To be fair, a game of this size, I understand where the bug free problem comes in.
Oh yeah, you like if this game had released in November and something came out from Schreier that like, oh, they were thinking about delaying it, and
could you imagine that blowback?
Bro, the internet would tear them apart. If they're like, oh, you could have delayed this 6 months to clear up some of this stuff. You know, there's still going to be the haters online that are going to find every little thing and go, oh, you spent $2 billion making a game, so it has this. Mm-hmm. And those are the people that you just ignore because they can't find happiness. Right? Or it's not necessarily that they can't find happiness, it's that they find happiness in something that isn't popular. So when somebody they consider a normie finds something in their sphere exciting or interesting, they have to break it down. It's like, no, you can't, like, the jocks can't like video games because video games are for the nerds. And it's like, dude, GTA 6 is going to span...
GTA 6 is going to be... I agree with the arguments of one of the biggest entertainment properties of all time. At least from a launch point of view.
What do you think the age range is of people that are going to play GTA 6?
Oh, God. My honest guess is it will be people in like their 20s and 30s and 40s to be like the big crew more than anything else.
Do we think it's 10 to 90?
I think it shouldn't be 10, but it definitely...
It's going to be 10. Like, somebody's uncle is
Somebody
going to buy a
100%
game.
is.
It's going to be one of those situations. Like, Grand Theft Auto isn't a video game. Grand Theft Auto is... It's something that transcends cultures. It's an icon. Like, I hate to say it, but GTA is an icon. It's... Yeah, they could spend $10 billion on GTA6 and probably still make money. So, yeah.
Yeah. But jumping from GTA 6 to all of the other games coming out soon, we got a bunch of showcases this month. So to give people an idea, there was a multitude of showcases, obviously, from Konami to Ubisoft to PlayStation to Xbox to Jeff Keighley's Summer of Games, as always. So I'm going to start with an Xbox, and I figured we'll kind of go down the list of anything we want to talk about on games coming out soon or announced. To start out, we have Persona 4 Remake announced, a game that has definitely been rumored for forever. I'm assuming I'm more the Persona guy, but also, like, I don't think we need another remake of 4. So we shall see. In the lieu of Hollow Knight, Silksong never releasing, it got teased again. Game Freak was at the Xbox showcase with a brand new game, Beast of Reincarnation.
Bro, before we get off Hollow Knight, before we get off Silksong, are Silksong fans? They've got to have the biggest blue balls ever, right? Like
I really want to know what the fuck is going on at that studio at this point. Like,
I mean, genuinely, like, what is
genuinely?
going on?
Like, this isn't even like me joking at this point. Hollow Knight release on 2017. It has been 8 years. So even with a pandemic thrown in there, and I just throw out 2 years of work for the sake of argument, you've been working on this game for 6 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, there is a broad discussion that I don't understand of what broke in the games industry somewhere between like 2018 to like 2020, where everyone forgot how to make games.
I mean, like, it's kind of a dark thing to say. The entire team at Team Cherry could have died in a fire.
We could have got a new team in there.
Rehired an entire new team, and Silksong could have come out in that timeline.
Like, I'm not even saying that, like, there aren't valid excuses. I just generally, in my head, conceptually don't understand how we are at this point.
So that's a great point. You say there's valid excuses. What are they at this point, right?
No, that's like, there can be, but like, I have not heard them where I understand what's taking this long.
Whatever the excuse is going to be, it's going to have to be like, hey, all of our leadership's family had to deal with brain cancer this whole time. And you're like, okay.
But there's some truth to being like, if you said to me, like, truly, like, if you said to me, like, hey, whatever was in charge of whatever, stuff happened and he was the example, or like, broadly, like, as you said, family, we deal with family, like, there are valid excuses. But it's to the point where it seems comical at this point. Because, again, I'm going to say the very controversial thing here. Games, I understand every generation usually get better, usually get more technical, yada yada, long development times. All of these are active choices by the developer.
Yeah.
No one, unless Microsoft is putting a gun to their head, which maybe they are, and saying, this must be tenfold better than the original, literally no one made you do that.
But here's the thing, right? Like, let's use that case of, Microsoft had gun to your head. Did they say, hey, it's got to be 10 times bigger, and then take the gun away from your head and, like, leave? Like, I can't believe this project is still like, okay, if it doesn't come out this year, I'm calling it now. Silksong becomes the next Duke Nukem forever.
At this point, I think Silksong might be fighting The Last Guardian for development time. Because Duke Nukem's still the longest at like 18 or whatever. But like that's the thing at this point. Like, and like truly, if I was the Hollow Knight crew, unless I had a launch date, I would not be saying shit at this point. And I don't understand why they did be in this advertisement. It's for the advertisement like the ROG Ally, which we'll get to in a minute. But like, if I was them, I'd be like, unless we're launching, we can't advertise at this point. Like, it's just too insane.
Well, they were on a Nintendo Direct as well.
Yeah, I don't understand why the fuck they keep showing up. They're obviously not ready, unless they literally are ready, like, in the next 6 months. But then why aren't we saying that?
Yeah, if this game was coming out in 6 months, it's got a date.
Right, no, and that's it. Like, I don't understand this, like, no date thing. Like, if you're gonna treat it like we're releasing Fallout level of, like, and it's coming out, just do that.
I mean, genuinely, what are you waiting for at this point, right? Like, there's no big events left. I guess Gamescom, but
like, that's not, yeah.
So,
Sure.
does the ROG Ally launch this year?
We don't have at least a price. I don't know if we have a date even.
Because I was gonna say, if the ROG Ally comes out this year,
the X we're talking about specifically.
Yeah.
The ROG Ally
Which
X.
I didn't pay attention. Like, is this a different Ally or is it just an Xbox branded Ally?
The thing that makes it special is it has Xbox branding and it is running the Xbox app on it natively. But I don't have a good answer on the. Now you make that point. The way I'm reading it is it's specifically a custom one that is the only one that runs the Xbox OS. I'm on their website right now, unless I'm misreading this. And it's saying Holiday 25.
Okay. Do we assume Silksong is like a... Is this why
Considering
it was in that?
I am on their... I'm going to send you this website. You're about to die of the amount of Silksong on this website. Here you go.
Ally?
This is Xbox's official like page on the ROG Ally. Can you scroll down and tell me what game they're advertising?
I'm just looking at it right now. The Ally X. Because of course it's got to have the fucking Xbox.
Right, so if you're on the Xbox One, on the Xbox website, the first game they are solo advertising is the original Hollow Knight.
Anywhere. So, well,
The part where it's like,
the Silksong, that's been that screenshot for all of the ROG Ally stuff.
no, I get it, but it's just funny to me, especially in this context of like.
Oh, yeah, now I'm getting down where it says stream with Xbox Cloud, and it's
Just that.
so. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't even defend it, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's just interesting because, so, the ROG Allies are AMD based,
Mm-hmm.
and the Switch is NVIDIA based. So, if Hollow Knight is cross-platform, I'm curious to see, like, what architecture was it built for?
But like, what is Steam Deck, I guess, as I'm looking?
I believe those are custom units.
Are they not? Oh.
I thought they were custom units. They may not be. I feel like when it was first announced.
We partnered with AMD.
Okay.
It's custom, but it's AMD.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I thought they were potentially working with God, what was the name of the company that NVIDIA Arc.
Mm.
I couldn't remember if it's a Zen 2 plus RDNA 2 chip. Whereas the Ally is a Ryzen AI Z2. So, a chip designed around AI versus a pretty beefy mobile AMD chip. So, we'll see. That's the interesting thing is like, okay, we've got, oh, and actually, so the base, I guess, they're not calling it the S anymore, which is nice, is a Ryzen Z2A. The X is a Ryzen AI Z2 Extreme. So doesn't have anything like, it doesn't have clock speed or anything like that on this. But, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see the performance difference between these two.
No, it'll be very interesting. But jumping down the list from the Xbox announcements, as we were saying, we have Game Freak's Beast of Reincarnation, which I assume we have nothing to say. Nope. Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which I actually was decently surprised by, especially like, obviously, Microsoft's just throwing the whole playbook out for Activision when it comes to that. We have The Outer Worlds 2, which I'm very excited about. It's supposed to be coming out this fall from Obsidian. We learned more about Clockwork Revolution, the next game from In Exile. High End Life 2 got announced by Squanch Games, which Ninja Gaiden 4 is being worked on, and it will come out on October 21st. Gears of War Reloaded, we officially know, comes to everything on August 26th, with a beta test coming this weekend as we're recording this. Super Meat Boy 3D was announced, which is a proper sequel to Super Meat Boy. We have Grounded 2, another Obsidian game, is coming out this year on July 29th. Aphelion was announced from Dontnod. We have a new game from Double Fine, which has been a while. I'm sorry, which one?
Aphelion was developed in co-op with the ESA, the European Space Agency. That's pretty cool. Like,
no, that is it's interesting. Like how we are getting like, it's like, I feel like what Kerbal, like there's a lot of ways of like, obviously Kerbal wanted to become the game that like becomes the space game. It's interesting how like other games are now being like, hi government agencies of space, how do we partner with you?
Yeah.
So we shall see there. But I want to always, Double Fine announced the new game in Keeper. We have There Are No Ghosts at the Grand, which is a musical game? Question mark. We have Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, the Order of Giants DLC announced, Chronos, and the New Dawn. I gotta give Xbox. There's a lot of shit here. From Blooper Team, Invincible VS, which is a fighting game, which is kind of exciting. It's a 3v3 fighting game, kind of like Marvel vs. Capcom.
Versus, it's Marvel vs. Capcom style. So
yeah, it's very much that.
Yeah, so when people are reading that, read it as an Invincible Versus, even though whatever reason they've got the verses all capped.
Yeah, that's why it is VS. I don't know if I fully. But it's also interesting because like it's a weird phrase. Because like versus, if you'd imply that's not the end of the sentence, I almost feel like.
Yeah. Well, it being a 3v3 fighter makes sense.
Yeah, it's because like what they're trying to do. At Fate's End, I'm trying to think of anything else that kind of stands out here. Final Fantasy coming to Xbox. Yeah, that's kind of the big stuff from the Xbox showcase. Before I jump to the next showcases, anything thoughts-wise from Xbox?
I mean, you're forgetting probably the
No,
best
okay.
thing. Tony Hawk 3 and 4.
That's true.
Which, I mean, it had been known, but there was more stuff shown. Are
Yeah,
you...
that game was announced, right?
Yeah, it had been announced a while ago. Did you ever play the 1 and 2 remake?
No. No, I did
Okay.
not. I was never a Tony Hawk guy. I don't know. It's one of those that like missed me. I don't know if they really had friends. Like even like I'm sure they like Dan would have been like the friend I feel like would have been. I don't think even he had him.
Well, the only reason I ask because like they brought some stuff into that from 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Some like quality of life stuff. And I'm genuinely curious to see, do they take anything? There's really nothing from Underground in terms of trick stuff that you could really pull from it. Or like transfers or anything like that. So yeah, I'll just be curious to see what stuff is in that because it looks fun.
Jumping to the next showcase we had was the Summer Game Fest proper, I guess, but the Jeff Keighley hosted event. This list is not in order they announced it, so I think we can like top down list wise. So RE9 was officially announced, which this story is not correct. So I'm pretty sure RE Requiem is not RE9, but they're claiming it's the same thing. But RE9 was announced. We have Lies of P Overture, which is obviously the prequel expansion coming out. Dying Light, The Beast is getting a release date for August by Techland. Speaking of yesterday, something we're discussing about.
Requiem is RE9.
I thought there was like a hot minute where the stories were going out that it wasn't.
No, it's the next main line.
Okay.
So
yes, RE Requiem is RE9. We get Wu-Tang Rise the Deceiver, which the reason I want to shut this on specifically also just funny. We'd also talked about yesterday. And then also, apparently they're going to be advertising this game at every single concert, which is a pretty funny thing. So.
That's awesome.
We have... Right, isn't that a wild, like, weird, like... So.
Hey, we're on tour. Also, we got our game coming out.
Yeah, like my understanding is they're doing like how AEW used to just run ads in between. Like they're doing that full blown like in between sets running the ads. Is my understanding. So we shall see. But Animusha, Way of the Sword, I think just had a new trailer. We got Game of Thrones, a War for Resteros. Arc Raiders is coming out. This year, October 30th. They announced in Hitman that Le Chiffre will be an elusive target, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize they still had targets going on, but I guess it makes sense because it's tying with 007.
Yeah, well, and they did JCVD not too terribly long ago.
It's just one of those that, like, especially them actively, like, talking about the 007 game now, I just didn't expect them to probably keep talking about Hitman. Scott Pilgrim EX is another brawler just got announced. Born to Show 2 was at the showcase. I'm trying to think else. Death Stranding 2 on the beach we got an extended look at. I'm just kind of skimming here to make sure we don't kind of so many things kind of announced this month, but I'm make sure Sonic Racers Crossworld got some stuff announced. Atomic Hearts 2 got officially announced. And I believe that would be that's like the big stuff at Summer Game Fest. Is there anything else from Summer Game Fest?
MK2, RGG's Project Haven got a name, or Project Century, sorry. Stranger Than Heaven, which I know there were a lot of people out there that thought the Project Century trailer was potentially gonna be something else, like, you know, there's a few other people, like, there's a few other franchises that it could have potentially been. And it's, it's not, which is fine. So, I'm curious about
And then the final.
Stranger Than Heaven. Like, that's probably the one. I mean, because Death Stranding 2 is coming out later this month, so whatever.
Right. I will know pretty quickly if it's good or not.
Yeah. RGG is one of those studios where I'll at least check out everything they do.
That makes sense. I half assumed at this point, like for them as a studio, for you especially.
Oh, sorry, not MK2, Mortal Shell 2. I was scrolling through this list and
I was gonna say
I saw Mortal in 2 and I was like, oh, I guess MK2.
Because MK was the MK collection, I believe, and I think that was a PlayStation. Forget you in a second.
So.
But yeah, and then final showcase, just to shout out. PlayStation had their big ones. Again, we're ignoring some of the small ones. I'm sorry, Ubisoft. I'm sorry, Konami. You don't get your big shout outs. But PlayStation announced some of big things that I at least want to shout out, which Romeo is Dead is an example. Is a Dead Man from Grasshoppers, something that's worth shouting out, obviously. Coming out in 2026. Silent Hill comes out on September 25th, which is the next thing in the Silent Hill series. We get Bloodstained, the Scarlet Entanglement, which is the follow-up to 2019's Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. We get Digimon Story, Time Stranger on October 3rd this year. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, comes out on September 30th. Another very poorly hidden game coming out. Kind of jumping down to some big stuff. Obviously, we have everybody's Golf Hot Shots coming out on September 5th. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound comes out on July 31st. As we were kind of talking about a minute ago, Mortal Kombat Legendary Collection with a K. Don't worry, collection with a K. Legacy Collection comes out on sometime this year. We saw an extended look at MGS3, Snake Eater, and even today in the Konami thing, they get some shout out. They announced some multiplayer mode for it, so that obviously comes out on August 28th. Neo 3 officially comes out early next year. We get new Astrobot levels. And then Thief VR was also Legacy of Shadows was announced. I think they got a lot of stuff.
I would say, honestly, like, really the only important stuff is the last three that are listed on this article.
I was gonna say, yeah. Oh, too fair. So we have 007, we have Ghost Yote, and Marvel Token are all, yeah, the big three that are probably coming out soon-ish. This article, I feel like, is not correct. Yeah, okay. Ghost Yote comes out this year. I was like, this article is saying Ghost Yote comes out October 2nd, 2026. Like, I'm like, that's not correct.
If you hadn't said something, I knew it was this year. I was just like, oh, it's October 2nd. Okay. I didn't even look at the year.
I was staring at the year. They were using a Newsweek article, and I was looking at the year being like, there's not a world they announced this thing with a date 18 months at a time. It was one of those where like something's wrong. But yeah, that's the PlayStation Showcase.
Digital has fallen off in the past 10 years.
What? Why do you say that?
They used to have some halfway decent stuff.
Fair. But yeah, that was the PlayStation Showcase. I would say that seems like a pretty strong showcase.
Yeah, I'm surprised RGG wasn't there. Now, granted, I can't remember the order of these showcases.
That's fair. I don't know if I have a good.
I was kind of busy with a wedding, so.
Yeah, my guess is you saw a lot of this second, which super mostly I saw kind of second half.
I saw all of this shit like Sunday night.
Real question though. 007 First Light. How do you think? Because to me, what's interesting is, like, we haven't really seen much gameplay, but like, it's gonna be interesting if it doesn't play like a Hitman game, and how they do, because they've done them for so long at this point.
Yeah, I think the thing that will surprise people is maybe how different it's going to play. Like, there's no way that they do just a straight up Hitman clone.
Which I feel like in the beginning is what very much people assumed it was going to be.
And I think those people are idiots, to be honest. Like, if only for, say, you know, being like, hey, there's no way they would do that, like, because you can't, like, that's a great way to kill that franchise.
Right,
is if it's just, oh, it's just a Hitman clone. Like, it's fine if, you know, maybe I don't know, maybe if they do some of the like cover based movement from Hitman, but you know, it's not like James Bond is not just going on a murder spree.
Right.
So, you know, his missions don't normally take place in crowds. So, you know, that's a big change that they would have to make from the Hitman games. I do wonder, like, no, this is just kind of my speculation and kind of my hope, is maybe if they took, like, if they took the God, what was it, like Saudi Arabia or UAE level from 3,
Mm-hmm.
and you were casing the joint as Bond, and then, you know, I guess if you were gonna make a Hitman clone, you do it, and it's like the storyline where you get into the room with just your target. But I feel like there's gonna be way more. Right? I feel like you're gonna have to go around and build a case and get information, and so
we shall see. Yeah. They claim this game is coming out next year, so we shall see. Me. Yeah, no, that's fair. It seems like about right.
Yeah, I mean, we've known about it
since 2020.
I think it was even earlier than that.
I think they announced it in 2020. There were definitely rumors before then.
Well, they had the license, I think, in 19. So that was the thing of like, oh, IOI's got access to the Bond license. All right.
Like, to be fair, on paper, they are a studio that I feel like can handle Bond.
Yeah.
So,
because I remember people being excited that IOI was the one that got the license.
It's better than, like, I don't know, like to me, a Bond video game in the modern day should go one of two ways. You go like the Uncharted 4 level opening world, or you go like the Assassin type with like Hitman.
Yeah, I think you have to go more Hitman, like closed level.
But I can at least see the argument of like the chunked open world, like just go kill a bunch of people. Like that also is a valid like route to do these games.
Well, actually, you know, you could do. And I don't know if they could make it work. Just make every level Marrakesh.
Yeah.
Right, where like you've got kind of chunked off areas in a much larger open world. Which, by the way, the fact that Marrakesh was on a base PS4 blows my mind.
Which I feel like is gonna be very interesting to see how they handle this new world then.
How did Hitman 1 run on a base PS4.
Right?
Because you look at some of those levels and go, God damn, they're dense.
Damn. But speaking of dense, of one final
Speaking
piece of
of
good
dense,
news.
EA.
I'll say one piece of good news before we get to the bad news. PlayStation officially announced finally Team LFG, which is another first-party studios, which seems like kind of like a more like socially like less serious team, but we shall see. But at least we got a new team announced, which thank God, which is what we're about to talk about. The following things all happened in the last like 45 days. EA canceled Black Panther officially and closed Cliffhanger Games. Polygon has been sold. Obviously, at the same time, we can talk about how Giant Bomb has been purchased by the Giant Bomb team. Respawn announced mass layoffs. People Can Fly announced layoffs, and just yesterday, Sony Bend laid off 30% of their team, roughly. That is all in the last month, to clarify.
Yeah.
These are just like some of the major studios that we heard about layoffs. Remember we keep talking about how I don't know there are teams left they can lay off? Where are they finding people to lay off still?
Somewhere.
It's interesting though, because Cliffhanger Games obviously was founded to make Black Panther. So like I'm very curious how this economic environment fundamentally changed in this short time period.
Yeah, it's
Because like the others, I can just be like, okay, well they've been here or whatever. But like that's one specific way I go. That studio was literally made to make this game.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. And then finally jumping down to what the fuck comes out this year. Death Stranding 2 comes out. I'm sorry, Death Stranding 2 on the Beach comes out June 26th. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 Plus Floor comes out on everything on July 11th. Donkey Kong Bonanza comes out on Switch 2 on July 17th. Mafia: The Old Country comes out on modern consoles. I'm sorry, Switch 2. You don't count as modern in this context. August 8th, Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, same thing on August 28th. Borderlands 4 comes out on September 12th. Marathon on September 23rd. And Ghost of Yotei comes out on October the 2nd. Any of these standing out to you, or are you waiting for anything kind of tail end of this year?
Death Stranding 2.
On the Beach.
I'm cautiously optimistic about Snake Eater.
I'm intrigued by that one.
Ghost of Yotei, I don't know. Like, to be brutally honest, I still have to finish Ghost of Tsushima. I'm in the final.
Yeah, I feel like
act,
we went out the Ghost of Tsushima people, I feel like.
I have fun when I play it. It's just, it's not a game that.
I think it's one of those games to me where it's always like it's
so
a good
big.
show PC, but like I don't know, like also like playing it, I go, it's fun, but like it almost feels like work. It's like that fine line.
It's so big. There's really no fast way to get around. Yeah.
It's to me the equivalent of like RDR2, where like to me that game, I think more than you, I felt like it was work, and I feel like this Ghost of Tsushima like almost gets there but isn't quite to that work level.
Yeah, I mean with RDR2, the world was so well developed that it felt good moving around it. You felt like you wanted to be in that world. It was like, oh, if you as long as you got through chapter 2, you've got or maybe chapter 3, you've got your fishing rod. If you see a lake, you can just go fishing. You've got your bow. You see an animal, you can hunt it. Whereas Tsushima was like, you needed to get to a destination, and there wasn't a ton to do. There were the roaming bandits, but that was about it. Like, everything in Tsushima that you could do that wasn't a marked destination on your map was conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
RDR2, everything in between you and your destination was to avoid conflict. So, and I think that's part of why I not necessarily fell off of Tsushima, but was like, how many times do I have to stumble into these raider camps? Right, like, this is getting kind of old.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll see. Again, cautiously optimistic about that one. Snake Eater. I want to see it. Right, like, show me the performance of it. That stuff. Pro Skater 3 and 4. I mean, I'll get it eventually. Death Stranding 2. I mean, that's my next
That's
purchase
your next
for
big.
sure. So, Mafia: The Old Country is the one that I want to read reviews on.
Yeah, no, I'm actually intrigued by that because my understanding is it's not a pure open world game. It's like that mid-sizey, like kind of open world is how they're running it.
It's definitely one where I look at it and go, this is either like, it's got a range, and it could be a 2, it could be an 8. Right? Like, it's definitely not a 10. None of the Mafia games have ever been 10s.
Mm-hmm. But like, they were good Mafia games. Like, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, 2 and 3 are good.
Yeah, like I'm not like they're not 10s, but like they're objectively good games.
But I think the Mafia series tops out at about an 8. So Old Country will top out at about an 8. Also, it could go down to a 2. So.
So we shall we see. Obviously we are starting this mid-month, so I don't know if that really messed with our schedule. But movies coming out this month, I at least want to shout out, and we'll discuss movie club here in a second. We have, which is the official title I want to point out, From the World of John Wick: Ballerina. We have The Phoenician Scheme, How to Train Your Dragon, the live-action remake, 28 Years Later, and F1 all come out this month. Any of them stand out to you? Should we skip the month because we're at a weird stage? How are you feeling about this month?
The reason, okay. Here's kind of my stance.
Yep.
If we do something, my assumption is that July's movie is going to be Superman.
That seems like a...
If we're going to do that, and then August, I'm already calling it now, August is Naked Gun.
Yeah, I get that. That makes sense.
We're doing that. I don't give a shit. Like, Nobody 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're at the end of August. So it's like, beginning of August, we're doing Naked Gun. Middle of July is Superman. If we did something, and if we wanted to do it around release, it's either 28 Years or F1, and those are at the end of June.
I would almost vote. I would tell people, go check out films this month. It's a great month for film. It just isn't a great month for a schedule.
Yeah, I'm probably going to end up seeing Phoenician Scheme. Of the ones that you had listed. Ballerina is one that I would like to check out as well.
Kind of.
Other than that, like... Yeah, Phoenician Scheme and Ballerina are probably the only ones at the beginning of the month that I'll go see, and then yeah, it's the end of the month, so. But, so yeah, definitely.
No,
We won't have a movie club for June, but just
but
know
go
that,
go.
know that
There were
you're
great
weirdly
films.
spoiled this month.
Yeah, no, it's really sad because like this is a month just our schedules, but like you were spoiled this month. If you were trying to tell me there was nothing good in theaters, I'd be like, just look at this. This is like the best month I feel like we've had in years on paper.
Probably.
Like
Yeah.
these are all like 5 films that I would at least point to, either seeing them or understanding what they are, that like all on paper feel like a like, oh, you could see why people would want to go to the theater and see these films.
Yeah.
So go check out the cinema this month. You won't be checking out with us, but again, go check out your local Cineplex. But that is all we have this month. There was some layoffs, some great games announced, some horrible news, but otherwise, it was a month. We lived.
It was a month.
We will see all of you next time in this adventures of life. Anything else you want to say to the people before we sign off and say our goodbyes?
For the people. No. Go check out movies. Go have fun.
Go check out movies. There were objectively good movies this
Yeah.
month, like on paper.
Yep.
I think that is a very fair thing to say. So, go check them out, and we will be back next month.